Welcome back to Chicago Independent Television. I'm Darth Invader here at the Federal Plaza in Chicago. Now we continue with our ongoing coverage of the protests and events surrounding the second anniversary of the start of the Iraq War.
I ain't gonna let nobody, turn me around. Help me, y'all. Turn me around. I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around.
We're here to oppose this unjust war and to get information out to our fellow residents about the cost of this war for people right here in this city. This is a war that has cost $2.1 billion from Chicago taxpayers alone, more than $11 billion of tax dollars from Illinois residents, and over $200 billion of tax dollars from people across the United States. So this is an unjust, deadly costly war that is taking vital funds away from things like health care, housing. In this city, money that could go for the CTA and our public schools. That's the message that we wanted to take out to the streets today. And we wanted to go where the people were. And we were denied that right because instead, the Chicago mayor, Richard Daley, and his stooges in the police department, they canceled the Constitution and chose instead to cancel our civil liberties. Well, clearly, first and foremost, the police targeted one of the most prominent public voices of the movement, and that's been Andy Thayer. Andy Thayer hadn't fired off more than a handful of sentences to the press before the police shouted, "You're under arrest, Andy," and literally jumped him.
We have a permit. We have a permit.
Let him go. 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 This is a peaceful rally. This is a peaceful rally. We come today calling for justice, calling for an end to the war. We ask that you do not act violently, but craftily, and let us now, those of you that will, ask you that you pray.
Well, Reverend Jakes came to the Convergence in Oakland, Michigan with Andy Thayer. And Jakes worked with other people on site to actually get people to move off in a way that wouldn't create mass arrest. And then pull that column of people, instead of being forced into the ghetto that is Clark Street, pull that column of people up Dearborn in an effort to join another large convergence of people that were gathering from the south and marching north up Dearborn. We ended up stalled at Bughouse Square for almost an hour trying to negotiate an exit route with the police. All right, we'll disperse.
We'll disperse.
We'll disperse from here.
Well, let me tell you, Chris.
Wait a minute.
You go east or west of here, there's more than 4 or 5 in a group that are going to be arrested.
Why?
Because
If you don't
this is
obstruct
a coalition of people, right? This is a coalition of people.
Well, actually, a series of feeder marches converged, and we're actually relatively happy with the turnout here. We think about 5,000 people, despite enormous police repression, were able to actually make it to the Federal Plaza for a legal, permitted rally. One of the most powerful speakers here today has been Georgia Congresswoman Cynthia McKinney. Came here today from Georgia to address this crowd and to tell us to stand strong and get busy because we have a lot of work to do.
Hey, what do you say?
Civil liberties have gone away.
Hey, what do you say?
Civil liberties have gone away.
I'm Lila Lipscomb, and I came to Chicago today because yesterday I kicked off, actually in Fayetteville, North Carolina, this huge international event that's taking place. And I'm the mother in Michael Moore's movie Fahrenheit 9/11, and I've been able to have a platform and a voice. And so what I'm doing is trying to be able to use my voice for peace. I want my son honored. I want him respected, and I want all the other mothers to be able to have their children come home safe and alive. Mine could not. So I have to fight for other mothers and other soldiers now. We should be opposing the war because it's based on lies. It has been lies from the very beginning. It continues to be about lies. And I'm sorry, Miss Condoleezza Rice, but I do not forgive and forget. My son was an entire world to me, as every child is to a mother. I'm missing a world. You don't soon forget a world that was ripped away from you based on all lies.
The war. Stop the war. End the war.
End the war!
End the war.
End the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war! Well, according to the police, it's perfectly appropriate for the police themselves to march on Michigan Avenue. And it's perfectly appropriate for the Michigan Avenue Business Association to stage an annual holiday lights parade, which draws over 800,000 people to those streets. That's perfectly acceptable. So as long as it's related to commerce and consumerism, you can express all that you want as long as you're expressing it with your wallet. But if you're in fact trying to exercise free speech, if in fact you're trying to get out information about a serious political crisis in this country, about a serious war that continues to take the lives of people, innocent civilians in Iraq daily, that kind of speech is not allowed on Michigan Avenue.
Brothers and sisters, we have been standing here negotiating our rights. We should not have to negotiate our rights.